The iconic kick in Muay Thai. Focus on developing your lead leg. They'll meet it. That changes the context of the techniques. The kicker usually hurts a bit more, and that was a solid hit. Into the block here, the lead leg has a really cool advantage. Kick the open side of the body. Some people make the mistake that when they see the switch kick, a lot of people end up with a broken bone. For sure, he's gonna have a lagging time. You can do pendulums, right? See, right there. You don't really wanna do this technique this way. Okay guys, don't forget to subscribe, to share the video with people that you think might benefit from the information. Make sure and like and comment. Any questions that you may have, feel free to ask and I'll do my best to answer them. Okay, today we're gonna talk about the importance of using the lead leg. In this case, I'm gonna be fighting orthodox or right-handed. So my lead leg is obviously my left. This is practice in Muay Thai and especially nowadays, but not enough in my opinion. Because a lot of emphasis is given or focus is given to the rear leg kick because that's like the iconic kick in Muay Thai. So everybody's like, yeah, a Thai kick, a Thai. Well, they're all Thai kicks. You know, all of the kicks are Thai kicks. Most people want to associate the round kick with Thai boxing, but many different martial arts have a round kick that's similar to it, but for some reason, that's what stuck. Well, I just want to give you a little insight on how you should also focus on developing your lead leg and why. So some of the basics. Okay, and again, I'm not saying don't do one over the other. I'm saying try to focus as much on the front lead leg than as your rear round kick versions. The reason being, okay, this is a basic fundamental. Obviously, we're talking about body mechanics, position, and structure. Anytime that I go, I'm gonna do a low kick, right? I'm gonna try to do a basic low kick to my opponent. Even if I land, depending how conditioned my opponent is, so we're not talking about a street situation, we're talking about maybe another athlete, a partner, another fighter that you basically should think that he has some level of conditioning. So that changes the context of the techniques. So assuming that somebody that's already has experience and has some level of conditioning, when I go and kick him and he basically, if he cannot avoid the kick, usually they will push into it in order to meet the power to choke it a little bit. Okay, if if they can't get away from it, then as I kick, they'll meet it, right? They'll meet it there. I'll come in, they'll meet it. So you can try this with your partner. You'll see, you tried yourself, that when you try to bring your structure together and go into the strike, he is going to hit something that's much harder than he was expecting. You're both going to feel it. But remember that the kicker usually hurts a bit more when you have a successful block. Okay, if you haven't experienced that yet, try it. I mean, you can try it first with your shin guards, but once you start practicing without them, you'll see what I'm saying. Okay, so another example. His structure was able to really counter that, and he still can fight. So even if I score, he's still pretty much in the fight. He's fresh. He's ready to, I didn't go that I kicked him and hey, I knocked him out, right? I maybe scored, but the fight continues. Likewise, if I kick more to the midsection or somewhere higher where he's going to apply a block, right? If he properly blocks me, and again, he steps into the kick a little bit and drops his body weight. He doesn't just sit there and wait for it. As I kick, he drops his body weight into it. See, you feel that, right? Yeah, and I felt that. If you didn't hear that, that was a solid hit, right? And if I'm not careful, or if he wanted to be mean, he could put the elbow a little bit higher, and my shin is going to run into the elbow. And if you've ever had one of those, and you know what I'm talking about, right? Yeah, you know how that works, right? It's painful. So it's horrible. So, but what the point I'm trying to make is that you see that he's really using his structure to step into the block here while he maintains integrity. He blocks and he's ready to continue to fight. He's not sitting there and blocking this way, and he's not sitting over here and trying to overcommit with his with his hands and his arms. He is keeping his structure and he's stepping into the block enough to stuff it, and he can continue to hit me back. So this is some of the shortcomings, so the things you have to be looking after you throw a round kick, a rear round kick, right? Because these are some of the things that you got to be aware of. How do you recover from that? What's your follow-up after that when your leg comes back down, because you're on one leg once you kick? So when we're kicking, we're focusing on the left kick or your lead leg, because if you're southpaw, then that would be your right leg. The lead leg has a really cool advantage in these points. Let me turn around so you can see better. Okay, so what we're doing is that my lead leg, when I throw my round kicks, they're now attacking what's called the open side of the body. This side of the body here is closed. And you see how with his structure, he was able to put his whole body weight and really get in there. I'm gonna kick this side again. See, he's putting his whole body weight there, and he's back in structure, ready to go. But when I kick the open side of the body, I have lots of different targets. And because of the body structure, I'm gonna direct the power of my kick to hit through him and go past the point where he doesn't have a stand. Over here, if this is my kick, I'm gonna block my kick here. See, you see how his structure, he can push his structure and bend down into my kick, right? Right here, I'll feel his body. But when my kick comes from this position here and attacks the body this way, you see his structure is gone in a second, because I'm basically, stand right there, I'm basically just pushing, so relax. I'm just basically, the energy is going that way, see? So the kick is gonna direct itself to kick in that position. He doesn't have a rear leg to support a structure and really oppose that energy. So, for example, some people make the mistake that when they see the switch kick or a southpaw throw that round kick, because they're not used to blocking this side very much, they'll end up blocking with one arm, and that's bad. A lot of people end up with a broken bone. It's happened in MMA, it's happened in lots of Muay Thai fights. They continue to fight, but they got a broken bone. So what happens is, whether I do a switch kick or I'll keep it in the rear now for a better angle, as I kick and he tries to block with one hand, I'm not gonna go very hard, just structure. You see how he's moving? And I'm not kicking very hard yet. I'm just using my structure. I'm not really slapping it on, okay? What happens, this arm is gonna take all of the brunt. And that really sucks, because it doesn't have a support system like he does on this side. Hi, my name is Mike Soto. I'm a martial arts coach, combatives consultant with over 40 years of researching, learning, and teaching martial arts. I want to invite you to my new video course, Fundamental Skills for Martial Arts and Fighting. The contents of this video series is based on my extensive research in Muay Thai, Western boxing, and Chinese and Filipino martial arts. In this course, you will learn some essential skills that will create a more connected and relaxed body structure that will allow you to deliver more power in your strikes. These body skills will create a more efficient way to use any offensive or defensive technique. You will also learn some essential footwork to guarantee the delivery of your techniques. These skills can be applied to enhance any martial arts practice and can greatly benefit anyone from beginners to advanced practitioners, regardless of style. Don't miss this opportunity to bring your martial arts skills to the next level. So it forces the guy, because he doesn't have a rear leg to stand on, it forces him to do the opposite and go this way. This is on the closed side where he's strong. This is on the open side. He has to use both arms for sure to take care of that kick, because there's nothing to support him in the rear. So let's go slow. He's gonna try with both arms now. This side. Yeah, this side. There you go. Yeah, it's a little bit harder. You see how his structure, I'm not going full power because we don't need to demonstrate this. You can see how his structure just bounces off. He gets off his heels, okay? The other advantage as a follow-up for this is that once your leg comes back down, he has committed both arms to block this kick, which leaves this side of the face totally open, okay? So for example, we'll pretend this is my kick. This is directing the kick. When he blocks it with both arms, because he has to, boom. See, this side is wide open, okay? So what happens is that when I throw the kick here, I can bait him or I can really throw the kick because he has to commit. It's a high percentage for me to come in and follow through as I land my lead leg. This hand is going to be in front. As I come in, I land. I'm landing with all my power, driving through. And he's gonna have a lagging time trying to get back into his structure. By the time he used both arms to block my shin, again, here I am, right? So this is something I want you to think about and consider a lot in your training. Same thing with the lower side. A lot of people that I've trained throughout the years, they can block the normal round kick or the closed side very well, but they're not very good at blocking things that are coming from the inside or the open side. For example, I'm going to attack the rear leg here. So as I move in, I step out and I keep attacking that rear leg, right? What happens is 2 or 3 very well hits here. This is his power, because in kickboxing, boxing, any stand-up striking art, the rear is what makes you move forward, and that is your base, the power base. When you knock that off, he's slow, he gets flat-footed. If he wasn't, his mobility totally turns into crap. So this is another thing that I want you to work on, is stepping sideways and attacking that rear leg as you move forward. The same thing here as a follow-up. This hand is always going forward. You don't really want to do this technique this way. See, because now you're open. You want to keep and crank at the shoulder and the hip to give you the power and keep this hand here. See, now I land in between his legs. I can just totally throw this in here. I don't have to look. He's gone before I even throw this. So his defense is going to be very weak because I forced him to engage both arms into blocking that kick. Okay? Another advantage, attacking the front of or the inside of his thigh. All these bundle of nerves that are exposed, they cannot take the same abuse that the outside of the leg can take.
It's not created for that.
Yeah, it's not made for that, right? The body has like an outer shell, but inside this bundle of nerves, like where the seam of the pants would be, it's horrible. If you've ever felt this, you know what I'm talking about. If you ever kick somebody like that, you know what I'm talking about. So this has a variety of techniques we'll cover later, but from a distance, you can do pendulums, right? See, right there. From there, all I need is to disrupt this base. See, he has nothing there. Follow through right away because I'm piling through, taking advantage of his base being broken. As an example, that cannot happen when you throw the rear kick. You land it, you'll hit him, but if he's conditioned, he's going to take quite a bit of that punishment. Rounds of it. If I start kicking him here, man, even if I go these, where I'm staying from the outside, just picking in this way, this becomes, yeah, I mean, you feel it. Through 2 or 3 of those, and you're already like, man, this sucks. it starts making you want to go back.
Easy kicks, but I still feel.
Yeah, and this is me throwing from long distance. If I want to do something that's short distance, of course, I can engage in any kind of punch here and really nail it through. Really nail it through. So attacking this is very important in your training. Not enough of it is done, in my opinion. I don't see it. It's there all the time. Get in your stance. Okay? That's there all the time. This is strong. This is not strong. The same thing with the lower calf. Not strong. You kick over here, it doesn't take much. He's going to be gone. This is why we're going to have another video later where we're going to cover what techniques that I think are unnecessary drills or non-effective drills. For example, something that doesn't have a logical flow. Here's one. We'll go slow. I'll throw maybe a jab and a cross, right? I'll throw a kick that lands, boom. Then I throw a right. Then I finish it with a run kick. Why? Why? After I do the 1, 2, I got him. Why don't I continue to then punish him, then to go 1, 2, hit him a 1, 2, got him with the kick. Then I'm going to step back and finish with a round kick at the end. This is bad habits.
It looks beautiful.
Looks great. Oh man, look at those strikes. Pow, 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 high, low.
Cinematic.
Cinematic. And you'll see it in the ring and you'll say, but hey man, you already hurt him with those other two. Why are you backing off to do that beautiful leg kick? Because you're giving him time to recoup, and you could have just pile through and drive through and just end it. So we'll cover that in another video, but the emphasis, don't forget to use your lead leg extensively. Develop it like its own weapon, because it'll keep the opponent guessing, and most people are not very well trained or educated on how to counter it. See you in the next video.
Thank you so much.